Let's see if I can remember this. We love you, Dr. Funkenstein. Your funk is the best. Take my funk and give it a try to funk with the rest. Hit me if you are near. Hit me because the funk is here. We love you, Dr. Funkenstein, because your funk is the best. Wanted to play tonight. They wanted to play. All right, all right. Some funky energy in this room anyway. Let's get rid of it. Blue Argonite to everybody. The blue Argonite energy to everybody. And the Virgia, may you cut through ignorance. Oh. All right, it's heavy. Well, guten morning. Good morning, everyone. This is the Chocolate Mountain Show, and I am your super funky host, Big Pontiac. I am also the spiritual holder of the infinite spiritual ball game created by the Hero Twins. And I am also your funky galactic daddy-o, welcoming each and every one of the chocolate mountaineers on my galactic patio from Minnesota to the universe. And so tonight's beer is Frostline Rye by Summit. This is basically a hazy IPA, unfiltered goodness. Don't you wish you were me right now? Don't you wish you were me? Just look at that head. Just look at that. Frosty goodness. And we are still smoking on the Yukon Wolf XL Plus when you need a little more. So pop them if you got them, smoke them if you want them. I'm not going to front. I caught a little bit of slideshow. I've been like pretending I was watching basketball. Hey, Reese, thank you for joining me. Oh, such kind words. Thank you. I'm glad you came. Hey, Gray, how you doing? How are you doing? Just finished smoking some good timing. Yeah. Hey, Magbone Files, what's happening, man? I caught a little bit of slideshow. I was laying down the end of the game, kind of off and on that second game. The main game I want to talk about is that Heat game. I show you how Tyler Hero did not try to make the floater, and then Jimmy Butler missed 2 shots. Didn't even try to make it. Didn't it? See, this is what you've got to understand about these games. They almost use the same script. The other day we saw the Nets not get a good shot off on purpose. And what do we see tonight with Jimmy Butler? Jimmy Butler had 2 opportunities to tie the game, win the game. Didn't do it. Didn't do it. So, it's easy to see the script. It didn't look like Booker got hurt. And this is point shaving. See, they be holding these players out, be point shaving. That's keeping the reason why they kept Booker out tonight and they did the fake injury was to try to raise more money, to put more money in people taking the sucker bet and taking the Pelicans. That's the only reason Booker didn't play tonight, was to sucker bet for the Pelicans. They come up with these fake injuries, and it's point shaving. There's no other way to look at it. It's straight out point shaving to have these people hold out and ain't nothing wrong with them. And all it was, I mean, just look at the betting lines. You could see that it was just to entice more people to bet. Nothing else. Nothing else. That's why Booker, it looked like it was going to be a couple of fake injuries during the game tonight. So, but that's all. You see how they try to entice, because so much money was on Phoenix. So they try to entice the sucker bets, the suckers who bet, to get them to put more money and take the point spread and put more money on the Pelicans. So that was just sad. And the game was okay, but I'm fighting sleep most of the game. Man, I watched all the games off and on. I'm pretty sure the Wild one, it was 6-3. Twins was up 2-1, but they had bases loaded when I turned it. So the Twins probably lost. They had bases loaded with 1 out in the top of the 9th inning. So didn't watch the rest. So I know they didn't have fun playing tonight. Hey, PJ, what's happening, man? Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining me so much. We'll see how long I can go, because I was asleep off and on that game. I kind of woke up, and I was like, I checked my phone and I saw Sly was just, I mean, he was on that, he was like just about to stop. So I didn't catch very much. I'm going to have to catch the replay, because I was like, I wonder what he was into tonight. So missed it. I missed it. So, and as I always say, he's a tough act to follow, but I'll do my best. Again, it's just a sports day to day, a lot of games, but everything kind of went on script tonight. The Chicago game, again, wasn't much interest in that game. Hey, Valerie, how you doing tonight? Thank you for joining me. So kind of you to come in. Duncan, what's good, Dunk? What you think about the USFL? No, really different from the scripted. No different. Oh, I'll say this, and I forgot to say this earlier. One thing now, when Brother Lobo did a show, and Lobo was talking about how they said they was going to put the electronic tracking in the USFL footballs. Well, you notice who won? Trying to think who won last week. Michigan lost. One of the teams who Birmingham won. So Birmingham won, but their field goal kicker missed 2 field goals, and he missed, I think, 2 extra points. I know he missed 2 field goals for sure. So they switched balls. They said the electronics in the balls was causing a concern because all the kickers were consistently missing. So trying to put them electronics in the balls, and it was a game tonight. Michigan played the Generals. Watched a few minutes of it. I caught like the last 2-3 minutes of it. My friend was watching it. So they must have been playing in New Jersey. Sevens this week talked about Snowfall and some other shows. Indeed, on Sevens this week, he talked about Snowfall and some other shows. Okay. Nick Rose. Oh, bet. Okay, Dwayne. Yeah. Sevens this week. He talked about Snowfall and some other. Okay. Snowfall was weak. If I ain't say that last night, it was weak. The ending, first of all, as I said, How are you going to have all your financial stuff just in one place? Who's that stupid? Who is that stupid? Hey, CJ, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Who's that stupid? Because you hide it in your floor? Because you hide it in your floor? Now, if you're going to hide it in your floor, have a big bank vault down there. But you just ain't going to put everything in your floor, one place, all your records for $70 million. Nobody does that. When it would be just as easy, because again, unless you really get pinched, the only time they can go in your safe deposit box is if you get pinched and they get warrants for that. But if they don't know they exist, because if you put them in a business name, they can't get to it. So, and then if you put that stuff in an asset protected state and put it under that business name, they can't subpoena that. They can't get any warrants for that. So that was the stupid that made no sense. Oh, Teddy can just break in your house and know exactly where all your records are. Hey, Mo Ray, what's happening? So that was like it got wiped out like that. Yeah. So that was silly. That was the first thing that was silly. And then the same thing. Now, okay, this one didn't make any sense either. So they go into his brothers and or his uncle and his woman. How they got all this cocaine lined up when they're supposed to be selling it? So they just stacking cocaine up and not selling it? I mean, that made no sense either. Like, so you just buying it to stack it. That made no sense either. You could just see they were showing keys just to show them, but that made no sense either. When he ended up robbing them. I mean, the story with his daddy and his daddy panicking, and his daddy just had to do this right thing. He was a drunk for years, but he'd been sober for a year, so he just got to have conscience. So it was a lot of weak shit in it that just didn't make sense. And killing Avi made no sense because he was one of the best characters. I mean, far as a character that had depth and like he was kind of the conscience of the show, and then you kill him off. That didn't make sense either. For these KGB Cubans, you kill him off. So I thought that was kind of stale too. I thought that was real. Avi was the best character, one of the best fully developed characters. He was the most balanced character. Like when he told Saint, he was like, your problem is you have so much potential to be so many different things. He said, I know what I am. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. So as a soldier, I know my role, but you are he was the most balanced character on the show. And what did they do? they took him off the show. So you make sense of that, And okay, this is the thing I don't understand. You shoot one dude, and who's trained to go after the gun? Who's trained to go after gun? You double tap. You shoot. It would have been easy to shoot them both. So Avi shoots one, but the other guy can rush you. You shoot. And you can even take a couple retreat steps. You shoot and you can retreat even a little bit, but you keep the gun close like this. So I'm shooting him, boom, because I are so close. It's like, boom, boom. I ain't like way out here like they had him, so easy to grab. But ain't too many people got enough guts to grab it, so that was bullshit too, the way they got him. And really, with all them arms up in there, when Avi came, he wouldn't have gave him a chance. He'd have just knocked them both down. He just knocked them both down. Just shot them both. Boom, 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 boom. Double tapped their ass. So that was some BS too. Oh, thank you, Valerie. Just started watching Quantum of Conscious. Good channel. Yeah, he is. I mean, he got a little bit of aging in him, but for the most part, he puts out good stuff. I'll say that. For the most part, he does. It's not too much that I don't catch. He brings some good points up. Now, does he work for them peoples? I don't get that feeling. I just pay attention. If you jump on their side one time, it seemed like you work for them. So that's kind of how I look at it. If out of all your rap, one time you appear like you work for them, then you do. So that's all I'll say with him. This thing is on. Seems like I need to reload this sucker. There it goes. There we go. So, but yeah, it's a bunch of people. I watch a bunch of people. Conscious Daughter. I just went through the ones of hers I missed. I watched. Everybody knows I come on streams and I watch everybody's stuff. Especially when he kind of ambushed him. He should have had one of them Uzis out that he sold. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, there's no way that made any sense. That did not make any sense. He had him, like you said, he ambushed him. He surprised the shit out of him. He should have just shot him. And really, with all them arms in there, he would have just shot him. So that was, to me, that was poor storyline. That was poor storyline. Chinese people are not getting any media attention for them going against the social credit system they have there. Oh, okay. That's good. Australia's still it's funny, Australia's still riding because they're trying to make them lock down. And so they're riding. Ozzy Kozak is one funny guy, which he's totally against the tyranny in Australia. But one thing I watched about him, he talked all this shit. Well, I'll say this. He's never really talked bad about Russia. He's talked bad about Australia. And so with all this thing going, he backs Russia, no doubt. Ozzy Kozak is backing all the Russians' moves. So I thought that was interesting. I thought that was interesting that he backed his move, that he backs Putin. So it was interesting. But yeah, what's going on in Australia is interesting too. I mean, the way their people are just not gonna have it anymore. And that's how it should be. That's what Floyd kind of woke up. Don't take all this abuse anymore. And see, they distract us in America so much. When we had power, we should have kept that thing going. We should have kept this instability going. But of course, what do they always do? Make you comfortable. They make you comfortable, and once you're comfortable, you don't have any more fight in you because you're comfortable. And that's what happens. That's what happens in America. Is there a way to live without money and be rich? I think that's one of the most powerful ways to escape the system if it's doable. Hey, brother James, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Is there a way without money? I mean, you would still have to have money, because the best way is if you had land. Now, if you own land and you had enough to grow an indoor, have an indoor greenhouse and a few animals, yeah, you could really get away from the system. You guys remember a few years ago, a guy was totally living off the grid, and the city made him connect electricity to his place. He had solar and everything. He was not connected to the city at all. The city forced him. Do y'all remember that? This was probably 4 or 5 years ago, so it was a minute ago. The city forced him to reconnect his electricity, forced him to have a bill. And as I said last night, I still think that there's a point of the free energy with I would say there was probably a point where we did have free energy. Bomber had suggested that amber was a way that they was able to burn it without seeing, the ashes on the ceilings and stuff. And we know there's been batteries forever. They've been making batteries. So electricity is not anything new. It does seem like it was free and cheaper in the olden times. So that's nothing new. That appears like I said, there's nothing new under the sun. All this stuff is kind of redone. What is time to a good? What is time to a God? It's not the same as our time. For a time walker, the blink of an eye could be a lifetime for others. When they talk about Shiva, or not Shiva, Brahmas, Brahma's sleeping. And then when he wakes up, the reality goes away. So what would that, how long has his dream been? That's the kind of way to look at things too. It's like, how long has this dream been? And so, yes, there's other ways without money to be rich, but you would have to have those basic things. Land would be the biggest thing. If you own some land and own your own land, your own home, and you have the ability to put up some solar panels, which still looks kind of hit and miss. I mean, I would rather put solar panels over something like a garage or something, because it takes away from the aesthetics of your home. And from what I've been seeing, it doesn't save that much. We had a neighbor, and that had a big solar panel, might have been the back of his house. And we used to compare, what was he saving? And he really wasn't saving much, compared, like in the summers a little bit, in the summer a little bit. Um, but hell, back then we wasn't even, I don't think the first house I bought, we just had window units. So we had window units in the children's room and a window unit in our room, and maybe one downstairs, maybe one or two downstairs. But wasn't that was the only time it seemed like the dude with the solar panel had an advantage. What does it mean if someone gives you the evil eye? I've been noticing more and more people just stare rudely by no apparent reason. Well, a lot of times, if you have a certain energy and your energy seems really high, and people see that your energy is high, they'll try to get your attention to draw your energy down, to make you wonder, what are they thinking? Why are they looking at me? Most of the time, people look at me and I look back at them, they stop looking at me. They'll break and cut off. There's very few people, because I look at everybody, like I'll look right in people's eyes when I talk to them. I'll be just like this right now. As my mother taught me, I was young, and every since then, I really, now of course, to be conversationalist, I'll break away when a person breaks away. But most of the time, a person look away, then look back at me, and I'm still looking right in their mug. I'm still like this. So I would say, I'll just tell you the way it would be is like if a person was really giving you the evil eye, you would see it, like you would close your eyes and maybe in the dream that shit would come at you, where you'd see just a big giant eye, like, coming at you in a threatening way, or even attacking you or chasing you in the dream. That would be, I would worry more about that than people just looking at you. And people can see positive people with high vibration, people with high energy. So I wouldn't be worried. If you get a dream of an eye chasing you, then that would have me worried. Then, maybe somebody threw something at you, but just people checking you out. Yeah, don't shrug that off. You shining, and so you melting them. That's all. You had to paint a picture about solar panels that doesn't add up. You had to point, yeah, they paint a picture, but yeah, a lot of it doesn't. A lot of it really doesn't. Hey, King Kane. I'll say the best solar panels. I hate when I look up and see someone staring at me. Valerie says she hated it. Nets about to have a scripted comeback. I don't know. They talking about Ben Wallace going to play Sunday or tomorrow, Saturday. They say Ben Wallace going to play Saturday. People tend not to look at me. People, like women, still check me out, even though I'm an old pimp. Women, people still check me out. Trilogy, I had a bunch of women around me. Maybe that's why. See, that could be too. Hating is like, why is he shining with all these females? But yeah, now I'll catch women checking me out. I drove by a chick and checked her out. She kind of smiled at me. She liked it. I checked her out. So it's not all bad sometimes. It's not all bad. So yeah, just make them, read their energy. I'll say that's the other thing. Read their energy. I figured they would bring Ben out. Yeah. Hey, Silva, good show tonight, brother. Good show tonight. There's a lot of people I support, but when he puts his stuff out, I'll tell you, you said some stuff a couple weeks ago to just build my confidence up so much, because all this stuff was failing. All my equipment was failing and stuff, and I was like really feeling down. But you had said that a week ago. You had said a couple weeks ago, and today you kind of repeated what you had said. It was like, what you have, go with it. Go with it, because a lot of times it's just your confidence and the way you come across. So definitely, I pay attention to you, man. So thank you. Thank you for putting, the cool stuff out. Simmons gonna be look silly. He's not a player that you can just plug and play. Well, though, if they start making him they start making him making his shots. Was the showing back teeth when you smiled at her? Was yeah, she had a grill full of it. I probably could have said something. Oh man, thanks. It's like it be like that. I was dealing with that tonight. Oh my goodness. I mean, all this stuff, like I said before, my other computer kind of crapped out on me and then got it fixed. And then end up upgrading, getting another computer, and then it crapped out on me. Let my daughter use it, which that's all right. So The mics don't work. I mean, I've got 3 or 4 mics and I'm barely hanging on. So I'm just trying to do the best I can, you know. I got to deliver you. I got to deliver you. Said I was. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that what you do is just as important as what Bobby did for people, because you open people's eyes. Because this is a lot of ways where people get the information from, and so people have to be, you know, we say discernment. Again, this thing is a thing where we can use discernment, and you use discernment in what you listen to. Because again, what is feeding your spirit? What are you feeding your soul? What are you feeding your spirit? And if you're not feeding, you know, high vibration things, positive things, and there are so many people that want the path of what Seova talks about. And so why not get his information and work with it, you know? And if you can support him, definitely support him, because all of us, needs some type of support. So he's gonna have a jumper now. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Dwayne, government's fucking with your stuff, huh? You know how they do, technical difficulties. Hey, Adrian, what's happening? Yeah. I don't cry about it. I don't cry. I know what they're doing, because I mean, I did a show at the school where it has it has the Ultra 5G at the school, and then my stuff is breaking up. Yeah, that creator info needs some discernment so you don't get caught up with bad info. There you go. That's perfect. There you go. You do. Yep. Yeah. So I don't try to cry about it, you know. I just take what they do and just keep moving on. As I said before, they killed a computer. They killed one of my cameras. Because I used to have that when they came out with that Samsung 380 camera, and they killed it. They killed it. You know, they killed it. It had the wide angle, so it showed my whole desk and shit. And this was what, 17? And that camera was like 2 months old. And yeah, they killed it. They killed it. Facebook killed the camera. They killed my mic. But I'm not gonna cry about it. All I can do is just move on, and just do what I can do, and do it the best I can, and put my message out there. So, but it's going to be interesting how they'll try to work Simmons in, and all of a sudden he's going to be a miracle shooter. Uh, don't see how he's going to fit in with Kyrie. He's not a spot up person. Um, Maybe the post game with him, post roll with Kyrie, using him as post roll, and then if Ben gets the ball, somebody cutting to the hoop. I mean, I can see, like, I would run like I'm trying to think. It would be a 3-2 3-1-1 kind of set, almost the triangle. Is, I guess, is what I'm saying. He would probably thrive if they ran the triangle, which is nothing but a 3-1-1 set. So. Um, that fool, when they took your last channel, I bet they were surprised when you got your members back. Probably not. They watch, they watch other people do the same thing. They allow you to come back on. They try to even say, well, you can't come get another channel, but they let people do it. That makes you wonder about Zach Hubbard, because they zap one of his, he back on the next day, and they tell you can't get other channels, but most people can. YouTube is slow for me on my computer whenever I log into my account. I see. 82 degrees today in central Kentucky. It's supposed to be 73 here tomorrow, at Adrian. It's supposed to be 73. It was 50 today, but it's windy, rainy. It rained all day. And I got soaked today because I think it ended up, I gave out 20 orders of 62 pounds. Yeah. 20 orders of, I think everybody averaged about 62 pounds of groceries. So it was a good day in the rain. I had to do that shit. So handing out food, but his mother picked him up. He was struggling. He was struggling today. Really sad. He was struggling. So, yeah. So his mother picked him up. First he told her don't come. Then he told her to come. And so I told her he was struggling. So he hasn't called me this evening. So, and then we'll see more doctors next week. But thank you for asking. That was very kind of you. So, we kind of plan it day by day, you know, really day by day. We start having the appointments next week. We got a big appointment Tuesday for him. So just day by day. Thank you for asking though. Nets not winning the series. I don't think so either. I don't think the Nets winning the series either. Steve Nash better than Ben. Steve Nash better have Ben play that Draymond role. He can almost play the Magic role. He just ain't gonna have the ball because on defense he can guard fours on defense. On defense he can guard fours. They're trying to keep Boston legitimacy. Yeah. Well, that's good. It's big money. It's big money to keep your one of your top winning teams. The role players Magnus on, KD Magnus off. That's gonna be funny, King. I got a $10 parlay Grizzlies Nets parlay pays 500 plus. Nice, very nice. I hope it hits for you. It's supposed to be in the 80s today in Cleveland. Okay, CJ. Yeah, it's gonna be like 73 today. 73, but high. Well, they kind of knocked off the high winds. At first, they said it's 40-mile-an-hour winds, storm warning. So it's gonna be a period about from 11 a.m. to about 2, 3 that we're gonna have 70-degree weather. Then it's supposed to rain the rest of the day. The heel kick Draymond version. That's funny. Food prices going up massively. Milk is about to go $6 a gallon where I'm at. No, it's still about, you can get it. Matter of fact, I got a good deal on my last gallon. It was like they had the half gallons for $2 and they had a gallon for like $2.80. So it was stupid not to get the gallon. I gave out so much milk today. I was giving everybody 2 gallons. That's kind of the way they set everything up. Arthur has a 270 parlay. If he hits it, pays 6K. Grizzlies Bulls. Ooh, that's the kind of lick I need. I have to look into that. I look like you could still play some snaps. Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. I probably will run the 40 in about 60 seconds. Then 4 days bent over. A 12-pack of Mountain Dew is $6.99. Beer prices ain't really going down. Beer prices is about the same. It ain't really changed. It's just you're not seeing bottles. Everybody's, and it's funny. I saw on television where they talked about the aluminum can shortage, but what I'm seeing is you're not seeing beer in bottles. I mean, it's really kind of disappearing seeing beer in bottles. You have brands that had beer bottled, and now they don't have. It's less because you look in there, it's nothing but cans, So. Now I don't drink soda at all. I drink about this much of a Gatorade while we was putting the hoop together. Wasn't any water in the garage. Yeah, I guess it was. And she brought out the Gatorade, so I drank about this much. The rest is because I'm not drinking all that sugar now. So they took out the Russian vodka. That's right. They did. But you know, they make vodka here in Minneapolis. And so a lot of people drink the Minneapolis vodka. But that's right. They did. That was one of the sanctions. I'll tell you, you know, I've still like I've got money and I'm still working these court cases I got. So it's like if ever it goes go. The properties are not really changing a lot. Matter of fact, the one property I'm looking at now went down about a couple 100,000. So yeah, the properties were like they peaked for a period, but what I'm seeing is all these properties are having to notch down because it's not. They are telling you, especially here with the area I live in, they were saying that people's gobbling these houses up. Ain't nobody gobbling these houses up like that. These several houses that still been up. No more 32-ounce Gatorades. They 28 ounces now. Went up 38 cents. Wow. What just like the potato chips portions, downsize and increase the prices. That I'll agree on. We don't have in this part of the country. We don't have the. I don't want to say. What is it? I'm not gonna say the Kalamazoo store but it's like the certain type of the first type of hot chips we don't get here. Jay's, the Jay's hot chips we don't get here. Every once in a while you'll see a small bag, but to me those was the best hot chips 10 years ago that I've always liked. Meat is going up, chicken is going up. what I've noticed is, and we have in Wisconsin is trying to think of what is the popular chicken, golden golden something. We have a golden chicken brand, and they're just in Wisconsin, so that place is near. What is it called? Golden legs, golden fry. I can't think of the name of that chicken company, but they're near us, so we shouldn't have the issues that we're seeing. The one that I saw, Walmart got just as much stuff. We got Cub up here. Sam's got just as much stuff, but the Audis have less. They have their meats are way less than normal. Everything else they have, but especially the chicken. They had all the wings and all that stuff. Audis has less. Audis has less. I'll say that. What I'm seeing, Audis has less. How you think Johnny Depp shit is playing out? I'm not even gonna say it's a distraction. It's like for the people that love that Hollywood stuff, like the people that love the OJ trial. This is what this is. This is another version of the OJ trial. We've been doing this since Lee Marvin got that lawsuit against him, where if you wasn't married to a woman but you live with her, she could still get palimony. This has been going on with Hollywood for that long. So I don't know. I mean, there's a lot more money tied up in him compared to into tied up in her. I'll say that. He's the bigger star. So, hey, Trill, thank you for joining me. What's happening? Some meat factories have caught on fire lately. Watch out for the fake meat. I tell you something, Quantum of Science said that I found my son said the same thing. He ate that. He said he knew somebody ate that fake beef. Like when my son ate the Impossible Whopper, he took a bite of it and he's like, he said he felt the same thing. He was like, this is some evil. He said, this is wicked. He said, this is some wicked shit right here. And he spit it out. Quantum of Science basically says some of the same thing, that somebody ate it and they automatically just could feel the wickedness creep in them from just eating it. So, Shantae. So yeah, the fake meats. We know, whitefish. If you ain't paying for crab or lobster and it says imitation, you're getting whitefish. So beware of that. Impossible tells you everything you need to know. Run, exactly. And it smelled like grass. When they cold, my sons used to both work there too. And they was like, this stuff smelled like greens. He said, that's what he said, Dad, when I smelled it, it smelled like greens. That's what he said. He said it smelled like greens. but Valley's right. Impossible tells you, yeah. They was giving this stuff out today. They gave Impossible nuggets out to people. They gave Impossible meatballs. And again, these old folks that they'll take anything. And they give these people a lot of sugar, and I'm like, wow. But again, like, it's starving or eating this bad food. What you gonna do? And most people just eating to survive. And that's the sadness of America. A lot of these people is on pensions. I stop and listen to them. And these people we're on pensions, work 30 years. And, wasn't enough. Wasn't enough. And they suffer. And people want to feed children, but people don't understand how many old people that just without these. And the food bank, it ain't the same. I'm seeing less and less stuff to give out. So I've noticed, I'd go in the warehouse and get the trucks and stuff, and I notice it's less and less we giving out. So I was happy with the number of 62 pounds with each, because it averaged about 4 bags a piece. But we only giving out a couple pounds of hamburger each. Yeah, like 2 pounds of hamburger, depending on if they want sausage or not. Yeah, I think everybody average getting like 2 pounds of hamburger. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. My homegirl in Atlanta told me about the fake meat in the Chinese stores. Ah, okay, that wouldn't surprise me. Plastic rice, spray painted fake vegetables. Yeah, that's especially the rice. Especially the rice. So you know what they're doing to their people over here to feed us. Let the people over there starve to feed us. So you do have to beware. You do have to beware. No doubt about that. Be leery of some of this stuff. It's like, the thing was with Chinese restaurants, they serving cat. Right, damn shame when America makes a healthy lifestyle more expensive. That stuff's gonna ruin your body. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's getting so hard to find real authentic food and water, especially water. Yeah, yeah. A lot of places. I wonder, like a lot of distilled water. Now you can make distilled water become alive, but basically distilled water is dead water. They killed everything in it, so you can build it back up. Um, But Chippewa Falls is not, and I don't know if y'all, what part of the country, but we get a lot of Chippewa Falls, and they supply because my daughter's mother, she used to be accountant there. She got a better job now, but she did that, and yeah, we get a lot of our stores get that Chippewa Falls water, which is some of the best water. Fiji is one of their competitors. It's probably just as good or better, but it comes from a local source that's not that far from us. So. Yeah, water really hasn't been a problem. Again, I treat everything I drink with Sugarite. I experiment with I experiment to see how long it takes me to treat the city water with Sugarite. So I keep a jug of that, and I'll keep that. Normally, Sugarite is going to treat water in about 24 hours. I keep that a little longer. Doesn't completely take away that nasty taste of city water, but to me, like good water has a soft taste to it. It's really a soft taste that hits your tongue, and you really shouldn't be drinking cold water. Not really. Just what it does to your system. Unless you're real hot and outside and you want to cool your system down, but cold water just kind of shakes you, especially early in the morning. But it's up to you however you do it. But that's how water should taste. It should be a soft taste. And after 2 days of Sugarite treatment, it doesn't the nastiness of city water stays there, but the softness does come in. So if I had to drink it in a pinch, I could. Um, Shantae says it's funny because the UK doesn't allow certain foods from over here to be sold over there. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. It's like countries cutting out these GMO seeds and GMO foods. They see that the food for profit, poison people for profit. They see what that is. People are getting tired of that kind of thing. Just to try to grow, to grow, to make money, just to try to make money. Instead of caring about our health. I mean, they've been not caring about our health. So what Michael Jackson say, they don't really care about us. They don't really care about us. So uh, it's certain foods I can't eat anymore. I understand that. And the organic labeling is a ripoff, and the higher prices too. Like chips, fries, cereal, waffles, rice. I don't eat pancakes anymore. I don't eat pancakes. And I guess waffles, you can throw waffles into that. I get chips every once in a while, but I like cashews and pistachios so much that if it's between choosing chips, now the problem is finding cashews not made in peanut oil. Now the best deal is at Sam's Club, $11. But I go to another place, I can get them like Cub Foods. I can get untreated cashews, fresh cashews, but they go pretty fast and they run out of them all the time. So sometimes, but yeah, instead of eating chips, I get cashews or pistachios. uh, Rice be too heavy. Rice be too, especially rice. Yeah, my son eats rice. I'm not really a rice person. I'll buy more potatoes. And like I cut up some potatoes tonight. My daughter's like, you put too much um, oil. And really, it's like not hardly any oil at all that I put in there. So I'm like, what are you talking about? But she asked me, she's like, well, are there any more? Because I cooked her I cut up some potatoes for her and cooked them on the stove for her. Roasted them, I guess. And she was like, do you have any more? I'm like, I only cut up probably 4 or 5 small ones. But I got me some sweet potatoes. So I'm gonna put them sweet potatoes in this big cooker I got, this big air fryer thing that can do everything. which I hardly use my oven anymore since I use that thing. I crash, let's see, fries is fried sugar. Fries is fried sugar. Fries fuck me up badly. A lot of salt too. I crash every time I eat fries. Wow. Hey, Barbara, thank you for joining Facts. They don't really care about us. Nah, they don't. They don't. They care about making money. As I said before, you can't underestimate the wicked in this world around the country, because the wicked would truly, I mean, like I go back into what they try to show you about Planet of the Apes and who was the apes. The old one hid who the apes was. The new ones tell you who was the apes. I mean, they admitted themselves. That's that Darwin shit, that they was the apes. Anyway, the old one shows you that if we were able to some kind of way wipe them out, it was something that wiped all the rich out and all the elites out. The last elites, would try to destroy the world. They would try to destroy the world rather than live normal. They couldn't do it. All these bloodlines that are used to people serving them, they would rather try to destroy everything than them not being in charge. And that's how they feel. They cannot, they can't even imagine not being in control. And so once they didn't have control, they would try to destroy everything. I thought about it like that. You're right. Oh, good point. I'd be having to drink a whole gallon of water after. Woo. Carbs turn to sugar and sugar turns to fat. That's a good point. That is a good point. And I don't eat a whole lot of fries. I ate some last night, but I love fries. Potatoes are my weakness. Yeah, yeah. I like potatoes. I eat potatoes. I like sweet potatoes too, yams. I get those all the time. That's some days that's all I'll eat. I'll get a big fat one, cook it for about an hour. Yep. Oh, that's nice of you, Valerie. That is so nice of you. And yes, Barbara. Definitely thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. That is so kind of you. And so today I just ate my dinner from yesterday. It was just a burger and I had some onion rings. I think I had a couple of tater tots. I cooked it too long in the what is this big Ninja air fryer thing? Roaster, oven, grill. It tells you to flip the meat over. But it cooks a chicken like 10 minutes. It'll cook the shit out of everything. It's really a good little deal. It's really a good deal. Because my last air fryer, we knocked the shoes off that sucker. We used it so much. Valerie says her too. All the salt and oil is a recipe for disaster. That's a good point. That's a good point. And I do try to limit that. I'll say that. I do try to limit that. It's funny, a lot of places don't even make onion rings. Like it took years, because that's the one thing I used to like a Burger Chef. If y'all might not be old enough to remember Burger Chef, but Burger Chef made onion rings. McDonald's didn't. But Burger Chef didn't make like the Burger King. Burger King made onion rings, but they didn't make the same. They didn't make the They didn't make the natural ones like Burger Chef made. They made the breaded kind that you can get from any grocery store. They make those kind. So Burger Chef made the old fashioned kind, the good ones. Greetings, 8 Wins. It's been bean burritos for me all day, every day here on the West Coast. It's cheap and fills you up. Can't complain. That's a good point. That's a real good point. They really do. And I got a bunch of pintos. I threw away some pintos I had for a couple of years, and I was mad after I threw them away. I was like, well, nothing wrong with them. And I threw away several bags, and I felt stupid afterwards. Like, why'd I throw those away? That's survival food. I got two lockers full of survival food I keep, because you never know. You never know. And I always try to, keep some cans where I can always eat some vegetables if I don't have time to get fresh vegetables. The good thing is the farmer market kicks off in about 3 weeks, maybe a month. I think around the 18th or 19th, all the farmer markets open up. I hate when I eat something that's too salty or sugary. I be having to drink a whole gallon of water. I can tell, like, since I've cut down on sugar so much, I can tell when I eat something sugary. It's the weirdest feeling. Yeah, when I eat something sugary, I feel different afterwards now. It's hard to leave them completely out. Like chips, go in the store and had the munchies. That's probably the worst side effect of bud is the munchies because it make you want to eat sweet or salty. That's just what the munchies does. Hey, Mr. T Gaming, thank you for coming in. And I would say if there's any side effect of bud, that's it. That's the worst side effect because it does tend to make you want sweet or salty. And for me, that's why I don't mind eating the cashews that aren't salty, pistachios. One thing I've learned, like pistachios taste different when they're out the shell. Like you buy the ones out of the shell, they don't taste the same. They taste a little different to me. There's a slight difference in the taste, so I prefer the ones in the shell. I tried. The fries are still. That crashing feeling is the worst. It's like I bought turkey this week and I cooked some turkey breast up, and we were making what did we? Oh, I was making turkey and gravy and stuff. And after eating that turkey, you talking about taking naps every night. Yeah, crashing feeling is the worst. It really is. It really is. That's why I quit when I drink coffee. I quit putting sugar in it. The sugar in coffee made me crash harder than anything else. The fries are still undefeated. Hey, there's my man Lorenzo. What's happening, Lorenzo D228? What's happening? Thank you for joining. Yeah, but yeah, eating that turkey, it had me just super slumped. I was like super slumped. Eat it and become just so slumped after eating that turkey. So I got some chicken in here. I baked a whole chicken the other night. My son ain't touched it. It's like I got to cook it all, eat it all tomorrow, or I might throw it out. It's almost a whole chicken. I only ate a little bit of it. I was trying to save some for him, and he really didn't eat. Part of what's going on with him, he ain't really been eating. So that's another thing. Yesterday was the first time he really ate. So, and then he orders this burger that's like this big, but at least he got some food in him. Young Weezer, do you think everyone who wears 42 is Jackie Robinson shaming? Do you think some people might just like the number? Well, the problem is this. Markham for Cleveland wears 24. That's one of the few. He's a European player. He's from European, not American European. The guy from the Bucks, he wears 24. The dude that can jump for the Bucks, he wears 24 too, I do believe. So there are some Europeans that wear it, but for the brothers that wear 24, because this you got to look at the reverse too. It's 42 or 24. It's the same. Like Dubba here, um, um, that's a mocking. That's a shaming. PJ sent me another name of what did you say, PJ? What was the player's name on? Was it the Lightning? You told me one of the teams, but it was another hockey player he saw wearing the 24 shaming. So not everybody, but like the 42 day, the Jackie Robinson day, that's just straight nigga day. No way to get around that. That's straight nigga day. There's no way to get around that. No way to get around that. So for brothers, if you see brothers wearing it, and a lot of times, and I'll say this, a lot of times brothers get marked with that early. They'll mark you with like Jabbar. Look at pictures of Jabbar in junior high. He wearing 33 as a freshman. Again, he was in high school as a freshman, but I'm saying that's how young they marked him. Will Chamberlain's numbers is all different. You didn't see him really settling 13 until he goes to the NBA. I think at Kansas, he wore number 5. He wore a different number from the Globetrotters. So it's shaming for brothers. It's a shaming for brothers if they give you 24 or 42. Now at the high school level, sometimes you get what you get. Sometimes it might not be shaming in high school, but I'd say college on up is definitely shaming. But Europeans wear it, so it's no shaming for them. Brisk Clown, hey, how you doing? Divine Network Solutions, can't beat fries with that Cajun seasoning. I think my ex, what they call fry sauce, I think she invented that after a terrible day today. I am glad to be here. Well, I'm sorry that you I know the stocks took a beating today too, except gold and silver. Oh, well, I hope your day goes better, Lorenzo. I'm sorry to hear that it didn't go that well. My day is like still, still kind of feel bad that my son is struggling. That's feel bad about that. So he didn't call me tonight. So hopefully the change of scenery will help him with his mother. So that's all I can hope for him. Uh, Michael Jordan was another Jackie Robertson. Well, Michael Jordan wore the Jim Brown. Michael Jordan wore the Jim Brown. The Jim Brown is 32-23. That's the Jim Brown, the Mason number. So yeah, Jordan was coded with that. He wore when he went to Langley High. I think him and Big Head him and Big Head Larry. They call Larry Ronnie. My daughter did a thing. I'm like, I ain't heard nobody call him but Big Head Larry. Everybody called him Big Head Larry. Because he ain't that tall, but he's got a gigantic head. But Michael Jordan, yeah, in a lot of ways he was. A lot of ways he was. But again, I call that the Jackie Roberts, or I call that the Jim Brown, because he was the first to wear it. So you can go from Jim Brown to OJ, Jim Brown, OJ, Dr. J, Dr. J, Dr. J. Magic wore 32 in high school, couldn't wear it in college. He went back to 32 in the pros. Yeah, because Kareem had 33. Magic wore 33 the year they won the championship, because Greg Kelser wore 32. But Magic went back to it in the pros. So I wore 33 in high school for baseball because they originally assigned me 42, and I didn't want 42 because I thought the number looked ugly on the jersey. I like 23. No, 27 doesn't look good on any jersey. 27 looks horrible on a jersey. I never understood why they kept 27 as a football jersey. That never made sense. The only thing I can think of, it equal 9. That's the only, because as a football jersey, that 2 and 7 looks so ugly. I never understood that, why they would make that a football number. It just doesn't look good on a football jersey. Yeah, the Lightning, yeah, his name's spelled different too. Wayne Simmons. He said Wayne Simmons is wearing the 24. But like double wear it too. Now the other brother, the other brother wears 18, which is still 9. Wayne Simmons. How ironic was that the Hawks, when Trae Young hit the game-winning shot at 4-4, the death of Martin Luther King, one on the 112th day, singing group 112, Club 112 are in Atlanta, and 4-4 is Pete Maravich. Pete Maravich started when Atlanta. Because as soon as I saw the 4-4, I was like, oh, that's Pete. That's Pete Maravich with the 4-4. Because he was marked. He wore 44, I think, as, again, he played varsity in 7th grade. His daddy was the coach, too. The bitters. But that's good work, Lorenzo. That is outstanding work, putting all that together. And it's a lot going on in there. The granite. That's some Brother Bomber brought up. And I know I'm in here. Let me see. I ain't got no pink granite right here with me. Or do I? Let me see if I can go without knocking stuff over. I don't think I have any pink granite in this. See if I can lift this thing. See if I can go without tearing everything up. This shit's heavy. But see, I can just keep this full of... Oh, here we go. No, this is petalite. That's petalite. That's not granite. But this is just full of crystals to push out the energy. Thought I had a piece of lapis in here. I don't see it. Maybe not. I don't see that piece of lapis in here. But yeah, no pink granite right here on me. But yeah, just using the energies, put them all together and using the energies of them. Putting them together like that. So, sorry. I finally got a chance to drink Coca-Cola from a glass bottle, and it makes a world of difference. Oh yeah, I would never drink it out of plastic. I hated that too. And not to get the high fructose. because unless you got Coke, the Mexican Coke, you was drinking high fructose. You wasn't even drinking real sugar. You had to get the Mexican Coke. I got hip to that long time ago. Started buying the Mexican Coke when I still drank it, which was about 10 years ago. Speaking of Jackie Robinson, I always found it strange that most of Chadwick Boseman's roles involved around him playing iconic stars and political figures. If any brother should have won Academy Award, was him with James Brown. He did the hell out of James Brown. He put his hand behind his head, but James would do it like this, and then he'd do it like that. Oh, I like that shit. That dancing part did it for me. With him doing the mashed potato, because that was James Brown, main dance was the mashed potato. When he first started, when you see him sliding, as I said before, look up Tuesday and Lurch doing the mashed potato. So, Pete Maravich said that he didn't want to play 10 years in the NBA and die of a heart attack at 40. He played 10 years and did die. Yeah, I think his dad died early too. Press Maravich. But Pete, as I said before, I said this on the show before, because when I was taking anatomy when he died. And actually, okay, so if you know, like you have your valves here, and you have valves coming in like here. Well, Pete's, like if you look at this as your heart and you got valves coming out, the valves had wrapped around his heart. Now, this man had 1 million physicals, but if you can understand, instead of a valve here, and like a valve coming here, the valves had wrapped around his heart, and that's what killed him. It should have killed him a long time ago. But I don't know if you guys remember seeing the diagram of that, and that was like, wow, you wouldn't even think you would think it's impossible. He wasn't doing nothing but just throwing some balls up in a church gym. But his mom had died an alcoholic. He became an alcoholic. I mean, they played Pete off the brothers because technically they got rid of Lenny Wilkins because they didn't want to give him a raise. So they got rid of Lenny Wilkins and sent Lenny Wilkins to Seattle, which was Lou Hudson's friend. And so Lou was pissed off about that. And then they gave Pete the biggest contract of anybody as a rookie. So a lot of brothers, was salty about Pete because of that. But Pete had the name. I mean, he had the name. Appreciate that. I'm optimistic that the next day going to be better. Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I just don't know. I'm in the situation really where I've kind of got to expect the unexpected. I've trained myself not to write stories because that's what we do too often. So with my son, I can't get caught writing stories, but realistically, I can't be off guard as well. So I can't put anything off the table, but I'm not going to create a story, but there's so many different possibilities the way that things could happen. That dude Simmons looked funny too. That's funny, PJ. Oh yeah, I hope your day gets better. I know how you feel. Baka Simmons, he killed that role. Yeah, he did kill that role. I mean, he deserved Academy more than Jamie Foxx. I mean, just from the dancing, his acting was on point. I mean, he did a good job. I thought he did a very good job. I kept trying Pistol Pete to the Jazz when they were in New Orleans because Pete went to LSU. Forgot he started with the Hawks. Yeah, he started with the Hawks. Yeah, definitely started with the Hawks. And then he played in 3 cities. He played with Atlanta, and then he went down to New Orleans. And then when he went to Utah, he played a season or 2 in Utah, not long. At one point, he had a jersey that said Pistol. He scored, 70 points in a game? Something like that. He scored 60 a couple of times. I think his high was 70. 60, maybe 60. Maybe I'm wrong. Dylan Brooks wears 24 for the Grizzlies, 2 braids to the front, and he looks like a transformer. Yeah, I noticed that. So there's still dudes that, they do that on purpose. And they've wore those jerseys, but they've been marked. I mean, that just shows you how long they've been marked for them to want that. That jersey should be banned by all melanated people. He did a video honoring Jackie Robinson, who's wearing a necklace with 42. Yeah. Which showed you he didn't have any sense. Eddie Griffin is one of the saddest sports deaths, in my opinion. He got cut, and then a few months later, he died in a car crash. I think he killed himself, at least wanted to die. Didn't Eddie Griffin play here? Didn't he play here and he the one got hit by a train? Right? Didn't Eddie Griffin play here and got hit by a train? I want to say he played with the Timberwolves, didn't he? And he drove his truck in front of a train. Chadwick killed every role he played in. Most of them he did. He did. 42 Bridges is a good one. The 42 Ritual. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, didn't Eddie Griffin, didn't he play for the Timberwolves and got hit by a train? His car got hit by a train? I mean, I could be wrong. Just like the Tupac Ritual, yeah, which was the same thing with Biggie. It was just another same ritual. Yeah, he played for the Wolves, right? Yeah, I remember him. I watched him play several times. Yeah, and he drove his truck in front of a train, or was forced to do it too. Yeah, he played with the Wolves. That's what I thought. Yep, that's what I thought. Young Weezer, Eddie Griffin. I remember Eddie Griffin. Yeah. Wow, I can still see the way he shot. I want to do a video tonight showing the way Larry Nance Jr. shot. Did you see the way he shot his shots? I mean, you can just see his body language that his shot should never go in. His too much swing in his shot. Did you notice that? When he would shoot, his body was doing like this. And when you shoot, it's got to be smooth unless, you know, you're fighting off somebody. But like he would shoot, and you would just see all this. Like as he was preparing, bringing it up, it's just all this is going and it never stopped. And so when he shoots it, but it's like all this herky-jerky kind of stuff just bringing it up. So it's no way he could be a consistent outside shooter. They caught it pleasuring himself in the car in Minnesota too. I mean, I watched them run people away up here. What they did to J.R. Ryder made no sense. What they did to him made no sense. We was at a club one time, and he was just signing autographs. And we was like, oh, just having drinks, talking shit. He had started talking to a girl. And the lady came up to him, and the lady was like, I'm trying to remember, the lady was like, you know, you ready to get started? Because he was like, he wasn't going to get paid till after he signed the autograph. So he's like, just give me a second. You see, I'm talking to somebody. And the lady just was rude to him. He's like, look, chick, I don't even care about this money. I'm doing this for the team, so you can keep your money. And she fell down. He like she just kept, she was like a gnat in his ear. He told her nicely, he said, look, I will sign autographs all night. Just give me a second. And she kept like a gnat and finally he snapped on her because he wasn't in no bad mood. He was sitting there laughing and joking. And he just happened to meet a woman and he was talking to her for about 10 minutes. And he walked up on the lady because she pissed him off and she fell. And they said he kicked her. And he ain't kick her, she fell. She like fell back. That's what she did. She fell on her own and they tried to say he kicked her. He ain't kick her. It was strange. He was looking healthy and was doing some of those movies while he was diagnosed. Yeah. Yep, I agree. So I watched him run away people up here. A lot of brothers that could play. They ran away up here. That man ain't dead. That man ain't dead. Shantae said that man ain't dead. He might not be. Remember what he wore to the museum in New York? Remember that outfit he wore in New York? Remember that outfit he wore in New York? He wore all that, what do you say, Rosicrucian cross. Where all them, that book I got on the symbols. He wore all them crosses in that outfit. He bust out with all them crosses. I have another book that got on it. Oh, is the Manly Hall books back over there. The Manly Hall break that stuff down too. And this has got all this stuff all mixed up. It's not just in one. Yeah, it's all trying to think which ones I'm looking for. The Latin Cross, Leviathan, Orthodox. Let me see. Is it 77? Is it that cross? This book got all the symbols in it. Now see, here I am. I was looking for this the other night, couldn't find it. Trying to show the murdered man on the pole, you know, like that's spiritual. There's nothing spiritual about that. Latin cross. And this was called the Leviathan cross. This one. And if, the Leviathan cross is sometimes referred to as the cross at Santana. It was adopted by Antana LaVey as symbol of his Church of Satan. However, there is no record of this particular cross having any other satanic connection prior to this. The cross was used by both the Templars and the Cathars. Alchemy, the Leviathan cross is a symbol for sulfur as one of these three elements of nature, along with salt and sugar. The symbol is quite elaborate. There are two bars on the upright part of the cross symbolizing double protection and a balance between male and female. At the bottom is the infinity sign, or Lemmascate, also known as the double Ouroboros. The cross also carries phallic connotations. Yes, it does. I ain't the one he was wearing. He was wearing one of these other ones. He was wearing one of these other crosses. Mm. So 23. Oh well. No, not my research skills ain't that great tonight. Let everybody say it. Ain't no way. Cancer comes in stages. Oftentimes it is in remission or in a treatable state. You can look perfectly fine. My mom has leukemia, and you can't even tell because she's in remission. But on the other hand, cancer fights off infection too. That's why cancer is in everybody. What happened with Garnett and the Wolves? It was about the money. It was about the money. It was all about the money. And then, they always gave the excuse when they had Sprewell and they had, what was his name? E.T., Sam Cassell, Sam E.T. Cassell. And then afterwards, Taylor got into it with Garnett because of not putting the money, giving the excuse that, well, we paid you money, so we can't pay Sprewell. Sprewell turned down a generous deal. Remember, Sprewell turned down that deal that he said he couldn't feed his family on something like $40 million. He's like, I can't feed my family, and that's what put him out the league. He's like, okay, and he had choked somebody, and they gave him a second chance. Yeah, at the Met Gala. Yeah, so that's what happened to Gray. That's what happened to him. Yeah, at the Met Gala. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Just like Kobe. Yeah. Kobe playing hide and seek. But yeah, at the Met Gala, he had those crosses on at the Met Gala. Yep. Yeah, I think Kobe too. That made no sense. That's Kobe's story was dang near stupid, as I was saying. If you guys didn't catch me earlier, what I said about Harkins. Now the wife is supposedly saying that he called her, didn't mention anything about a phone, didn't mention anything about a car, didn't mention anything about an oil can, because the first reports from the sheriff's office that responded, the sheriff's office said they didn't know of any car. Because that's investigation. Before you would release anybody, they would go back and find the car. Before you would release any information, they would go back and find the car and say, yeah, after such and like he got killed at such and such yard marker. He came from such and such yard marker because his car broke down. When they asked the sheriff, a reporter said, did you find any car? They said, we hadn't found any car. They would do that before they released any information. They would bring that forward. And 5 miles and then try to cross and then to get hit by 3 cars. Come on. They went after him. Young Weezer says is never going to have his number retired in Minnesota. Apparently he was supposed to be a part of an owner, but after Flip Sanders died, the owner went back on it. Garnett refused to retire. 21. Well, he didn't have he brought a group in, and Taylor kind of had the money, but I'll say this about it. Garnett was close to giving him the same deal that he gave A-Rod. Because A-Rod and them, Taylor still at every game. Well, now it's the playoffs. Taylor's still there. Taylor still has 2 years of operating. 2 years. They have 2 years to pay. So it ain't like A-Rod and that billionaire took over yet. They ain't took over yet. Taylor is going to still be there for 2 years. But yeah, that was the thing. But remember, they brought Garnett back. Garnett retired from here. I watched him play. I think on his phone, I still got some pictures off of Facebook when Garnett played. It was when Garnett played was Wiggins' rookie year, wasn't it? Pretty sure Wiggins' rookie year, Garnett was here. I saw him play. I saw him play the Blazers. And so it was cool, but it got funky. Taylor wouldn't give Garnett's group the deal that they gave A-Rod. Same deal. And he gave it to A-Rod. So that just shows you he did not want Garnett to turn into an owner. Yes, it was his clock. So yeah, Garnett, he finished up here. He played a season or two, or he played 1 or 2 seasons here when he finished up. He didn't have nothing left. When he was here, he was done. He was done. Never over. But just his personality, I'm surprised now because I was there at his first press conference. It was just how big he was. He wasn't thick, but like we went up there to see who this dude was, and we was like, whoa, how tall he was. But just very, very skinny, very skinny. And that was when JR came. He played his first 2-3 years with JR, at least 2 years, I think, when JR was still putting work in on people. So they had a decent team. I can still see JR. They beat Utah one time. I can still see him doing the butterfly as a confetti is coming down. He was just so silly, such a silly dude. Towns not built for the playoffs. Town is a clown, man. He's a clown. As I said before, I watched every Timberwolf game that they showed, and it was too many times where he would fall down and it would create a fast break. I mean, I could not tell you how many times he did that. He'd drive on his left, fall down, drive on his right, fall down, and then there's a break going back. And then if you don't get the call, he arguing, doing something that a rookie would do. They blasted him in the paper here. They blasted him. Stupid fouls. They was like, these fouls make no sense. These are stupid fouls. So they was blasting him in the papers here. Like, why are you getting these stupid fouls? They was kind of hinting at the script a little bit, which surprised me. It was dude, and you could comment on that shit, and I'm like, yes, he plays the fool. Sacrificed his mama, and what has it got him? 3-point contest, make an all-star team. I'd say Edwards should have made the all-star team before Towns. But again, Edwards hasn't sacrificed anybody yet. I never understood why he held that grudge against Ray Allen, or was it just a front? I think they didn't like that Ray Allen was going to win and it was going to make them lose. And Ray Allen stood up to him. Garnett's a little bit of a bully, and he stood up to him. I told you, his sister had to sue him. He bought his sister a townhouse, and then they got into it. He tried to renege on it, and she had to sue him, and she won. She won. Because I know this because his sister got pregnant by one of my friends, or used to be my friend. And yeah, that's how petty he is. So he's a petty Eddie. And there he is, Conspiracy University. What's happening? I think Towns is dating that model girl as a cover-up. He doesn't seem straight up to me. Oh, my goodness. I saw somebody, I ain't going to say whose, but it's like her man was like, I was like, you don't see it, huh? It's like, you don't see it, and that's on you. Towns is dating Jordan Woods. Okay, I don't know who that is. Jordan Woods. Thank you, Valerie. Jordan Woods. What's happening, Conspiracy? Which I think I said. Dripped into money green. All I wanted when I was young was a money green Lincoln. Just give me a money green Lincoln. Edwards sacrificed his grandmother and mother. Remember when he got drafted, his family had those two. That's right. They sure did. I forgot about that. Thank you, PJ, for bringing that in. You're right. They sure did. That was weird. Those pictures were weird. I remember that. That's right. Thank you, PJ. He did. He did. Thank you for reminding me. He sure did. But he deserved to make the all-star team before Towns made it. But so Towns plays the fool. You know, he plays the fool. And really, if everybody looks at straight up basketball, you know they threw that game away the other night because Memphis don't match up well with them. Ja is too small. He really can't match up with them on defense. They're always at a disadvantage. And you know, as well as he plays, he's not defensive quick. But thank you, Brother Conspiracy. That is so kind of you, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That is too kind. Thank you. Ja's not defensive quick, where Iverson was defensive quick. Remember, you know, Georgetown pressed, and Iverson leading that press. Iverson was on him. Shoot, Larry, what was his name? Larry Michon. Was it Larry Michon? Try to think. John Thompson had them quick brothers that could press anybody. Edwards is also signed LeBron's agency. Can't forget that. That's a good point, Gray. I did know that. That is a good point. Rondo got another ring, so Garnett is extra salty. That is true too. That is true too. He is. That's what he's mad at Ray about, because he knew Ray was going to go there and win a ring. And again, when all them teamed up, they the ones, the media's the one that came up calling them the big three. That was the media's making up. So yeah, it was very weird. You're right, PG. I remember that because he's the first pick. I remember that now. Yeah, very weird. But like all them years that the Wolves had the worst record and they was getting a 4th, 5th, and fifth picks, 5th, 6th pick. That made no sense. Here's the team. How is this team going to build if it can never get one of the top picks? Like they got Leitner. Now he wasn't the first pick of the draft when they got Leitner. He was not the first pick of the draft. Chris Small took an all-star spot from Edwards. By the way, I thought Chris Paul was supposed to be out 4 to 6 weeks because of his finger. That's right. He broke his thumb. Yeah, Paul. I made a video on that. Y'all look at my video of that, and I said it straight up. Chris Paul took the place of somebody, and there's not an owner in the world. Just y'all, this is your business. One of your key players, again, you know it's scripted, but I mean, just think from a business standpoint, who would take the risk for a exhibition? Who would take the risk for exhibition? And I think it was kind of fake too, because he was dribbling, and you know he would. Just the way he faked it, like he didn't want to put it in his left hand, seemed fake. You know, I've hurt my hand enough, and sometimes instinct takes over, and you'll kind of, even though your hand's hurt, you kind of stick it up anyway. The way he just reached for the pass with one hand wasn't natural. And I know that you're going to protect your hand, but you just naturally do that. And there's a way of catching with your fingers like this, where you hold your thumb in and you just kind of, pat it to your other hand. So that's more natural. What he did, he acted like one arm was tied to his leg and tried to catch it, which didn't seem natural to me. Just being hurt, knowing that pain he felt, and still playing. I know what's natural, and what he did in the All-Star game didn't look natural. But it's like you don't lose your spot. Like when Boogie Cousin tore his Achilles. Remember, they forced him to be there. Remember, he had just had Achilles surgery. He on crutches, and they made him show up at the All-Star game. I don't know if y'all remember that. Before all this stuff happened, Boogie Cousin, maybe it was 19, Boogie Cousin was made the All-Star team, and they made him go. They didn't let him stay and rest. Why would you want to travel with your Achilles torn? Believe me, that you do not want to go fly on a plane with a torn Achilles or just repaired. You on crutches like that? They made him be there. Yep. I agree, Lorenzo. I agree. They let Paul take Edwards' spot and a couple other dudes. He did a selfish move. Very selfish. Very selfish. Very so. Why you like he said when they lost, he did the walk of shame, talking about I ain't retired. Don't ask me about retiring. He was 36 years old when they was doing that. But I think of all the lovable losers, he'll definitely not win. So as long as he's on the team, I think James Harden is filling the Oscar Robertson role. Now I guess we could look at Paul, and he's got Aiden or Alton now. Maybe. But I think it Embiid fits the Jabbar role better than Alton does. That's what my looking at it is. So I still don't think that they're going to win it. I don't think they're going to let Paul win it. Paul getting his with commercials. That's how. And even I'll tell you what, that commercial with him and Trey Young, I might even have to do a breakdown of that, because what do you think you're seeing? What do you think you're really seeing? Behind Trey Young, you see the blinding light. When Trey Young jumps in the air and he lands, what are they showing you? They're showing you how you can, even though you can be at the highest superstar, you can still be knocked down. But if you sell your soul, you can be like Chris Paul and you can stay up. You sell your energy signature. Did you peep that? That's what that commercial is telling you. Remember, Trey Young is up and down, but Chris Paul is suspended. And what he's showing you is, if you sell your soul, this is how you can stay in front. There ain't no up and down in your career. That's what they did. That's what that commercial. I was looking at that tonight. I'm like, oh my goodness. They're showing how the stars are up and down. That's some wicked stuff. That's some wicked stuff. You think it'll be the Wilt ritual? I think so. I really do. I think it's going to be the Wilt ritual, and I think they're going to let. I really think they're going to let more Harding win than Paul. I really do, because Harding ain't got all them commercials. Harding only got the few commercials. Remember, they had Harding dress up like them peoples in that one commercial. If y'all remember, he dressed up like them mugs with the black hats, the black suits. Harding showed up in a commercial like that. So I think he's going to get repaid for dressing like that. But we'll see. We'll see. I think so. I think they're going to let Chris Paul do the walk of shame again. Yep. Yes, the State Farm joint. Yeah, the State Farm joint. Hey, Sean, how you doing, man? Good to see you, brother. Thank you for joining. Yeah, the State Farm joint. The State Farm joint. They show how you can rise, but you're going to fall down. But they show if you sell out, you can stay suspended. Yeah, that's what that commercial means. They try to sneak that in. Most people won't get it. Behind is the blinding white light, the evil light, or the wicked. Sorry, I said evil, but the wicked light, the blinding light. That's what it ain't hell. It's that blinding light. That is the hell. Just go into the light. And why do you think they emphasize that so often? That's why, even the divine one, the awakened one, she says, is he of the light? Now I always like, yeah, I'm not of the light. And I always tell her to that. She's like, oh, but you're good. But yeah, I'm not of the light. That's not nothing I want to mess with. I don't want to have nothing to do with that light. What do you think about Jimmy Seville's Muppet? What do you think about Jimmy Seville's Muppet? I don't know. I'm not getting it. What do you think about Jimmy Seville's Muppet? I don't know about that. You got to hit me to it. I don't know about that. I don't know. That's something I'm not sure about. I don't know. I can't really comment because I don't know. I'm missing Jimmy Muppet, Jimmy Seville's Muppet. I don't know. You have to give me a little more of what that's about. That's missing me right now. Sorry about that. Not hip to that. So I'm not sure. I am not sure. No, sorry. Jimmy Seville using Muppet as mocking him. Oh, okay. Jimmy Seville using Muppets as mocking him. Okay. I still don't know who Jimmy Seville is. Okay. I don't know who that is. I have to look that up. Jimmy Seville. I don't know who Jimmy Seville is. So sorry. I guess that's one world affairs. I'm not sure what that is. Who he is. I'd have to look him up. So I'm sorry. Can't really answer that. If anybody else out there can help with that, I don't know. Using Muppet as mocking him. Okay. Yeah, I don't know who Jimmy Seville is. So right now I'm old man and it ain't coming in. So. Oh, and this is the Chuck Benederic. The last time I've had this jersey since when the old stadium closed down in Philadelphia. Veteran Stadium, the old stadium with that messed up field, is when I bought this jersey. I've had this jersey that long. And Chuck Benederic, he had a finger like this. His finger was over here. Like you looked at his hand, You couldn't see this little finger because it was like over there. He joined World War II at 16. He was the door gunner. Um, that bald headed saxophone player Muppet on the Muppet Show. Oh, okay, okay, I got you. Ah, that's who. Okay, I got you. Yeah, okay. He's from the BBC. Okay, okay, I got you. Yes, conspiracy. Thank you, Valerie. Conspiracy. Divine networking. Jimmy Savile is a radio personality out in Europe. Okay, divine networking. Okay, yeah, I'm not hip to him. So the Muppet made fun of him. Okay, I get it. Okay, yeah, I'm not hip to him. Okay, that makes sense. They're always mocking people, making fun of them. You, they got a Trumpy bear. Y'all seen that shit? A Trumpy bear that cost $60. Uh, he was the guy caught on a pedo and was on UK television for 50 years or something. He was pretty much a Mason involved in other occults. He brought the Beatles to that okay. That makes sense. He brought the Beatles here. Yeah, and the Beatles wasn't nothing but some CIA trying to knock off Elvis. They used the Beatles to knock off Elvis. They used the Beatles to start playing, the music that was coming because they saw they couldn't stop it. So when they see a wave they can't stop, they want to join it. They wanted to knock Elvis down, which they did. They knocked Elvis down when they put Elvis in movies. When movies wasn't as popular as the radio started becoming and the music became it. Elvis was making them movies, which later others started copying the same thing. You went from entertainer to straight doing the movies. Richard Pryor did that for Brothers. It was Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy. Because remember, Bill Cosby tried movies, and other than something Saturday Night, and though that series, that was the only real success Bill Cosby had in movies. Bill Cosby was always mostly TV guy. But Eddie Murphy followed Richard Pryor, and others followed. Chris Rock and David Chappelle followed. Allegations. Ooh, okay, Sean. Okay, I kind of remember that name now. Wasn't that the name? Alvin and the Chipmunks. What was that Dave called? Or was that Dave Seville? I wonder if that character was on Alvin and the Chipmunks, Dave or whatever, who ran Alvin and the Chipmunks. Seemed like that was his name. He was a Seville. I wonder if that was the same character too. Yeah. But I think they called him Dave Seville in Alvin and the Chipmunks. Yeah, they were saying the Beatles were heavily influenced by Crowley and Jimmy Seville, like a UK Aleister Crowley. That makes sense. Yep. Jimmy Page was another one. Led Zeppelin. Jimmy Page was another one. Raised Up. He was in a group on TV as a teenager. And later Jimmy Page was, I think, didn't Jimmy Page buy one of Crowley's cribs? I think Jimmy Page bought one of Crowley's cribs. And remember on Lonely Hearts Club, Sergeant Pepper Lonely Hearts Club bag, they had Crowley. They had Sonny Liston too. Sonny Liston had a museum wax doll. There's a cool picture that just shows the wax doll's head. It's kind of cool. I can't remember where I saw that picture, but it was just the head. Sonny Liston on the cover. But yeah, Crowley's writings is kind of deep. My brother can probably be a little better than I do, know a little more about it than I do. I got to get him on, catch him. I probably got to get him on early. He don't be up. He got little ones. He still got young children, so I know he don't be up late. So it'd have to be an earlier show for him. What time is it? I think I'm going to cut it off at this time because my daughter's here and I'm tired. I'm not going to lie. I was like real close to, just because I was asleep on the couch watching the game. And then I turned the phone on and caught a little bit of Sly. So tonight it's Ak. You see, I'm color coordinated for the energy. Might be blue though. No, teal. I don't got any teal. The common Mayan usage is dog or foot. Qualities of heart, breakthrough, new beginnings, relationships, companions of destiny, emotional body issues, recasting the past, spiritual strength, guardians and guides, authenticity, magnetizer. Symbols is a wolf, dog, or a foot. Numbers 10, manifestation. The color is teal. Herbs is red clover or witch hazel or even raspberries. Flowers are narcissisms. Flower essence is dill, emotional clearing. Scent is rosemary oil. Azurite stones are azurite or tanzanite, or endochloride is another name, or kyanite. Yeah, you can get a teal kyanite. It's an air element. Directions from the north. Issues of the shadow wisdom is issues of the emotional body, possessiveness, jealousy, getting caught up in the emotion drama of life, feeling unsupported on your path, seemingly disconnected from your companions of destiny, and being inauthentic. Shadow transformation, though, access the objective witness who sees the emotional drama dispassionately and frees your experience. Bring your emotions out of drama into a place of choice, receiving their teaching and healing the root cause. Open the connection, support your companions of destiny. Harmonic wisdom is affinity. The mandra, let's try it. Let's try the mandra. See if I can do it. So the mandra, here we go. So the mandra is left hand over the heart, right arm at the right angle, like this, with palm forward, fingers together. And you would say, I am open to the new beginnings. I receive guardians and guides. I am the faithful arrow that flies into destiny. You look like some Moor stuff, some shit the Moors would do. That's the mandala. I don't have any since I had a bunch of teal gear when I liked the Marlins. When the Marlins first came, I had a bunch of that teal gear, but you see how long ago that was. They said that they called Seville an energy vampire, very creepy. He looked like a yeah, Dave Seville was his name, or Allen and the Chipmunks. Yeah, I bet it was based on the same character because they was kind of, same kind of thing as the Beatles. Wow. He's a whack internet motherfucker. That's funny though. Yeah, Dave Seville. He was with an Allen. Yeah, so probably the same kind of thing because Alvin and the Chipmunks basically like the Beatles, like the Monkees. The Monkees was really based on Hard Day's Night, and I know a lot of people don't remember the Monkees, but I used to like the Monkees. It's the last train to Charleston, and I'll meet you at the station. I love that. It's just another gloomy Monday. Monkees had a few decent songs. It was Monkees, the Banana Splits. Back when they was, when McDonald's ended up putting people in costumes, that was because of Banana Splits. What was his name? Huff and Puff. How you doing, Snuff and Puff? How you do when things get rough? I think that's what HR Puffin Stuff. That was what it was called. It was the Banana Splits, HR Puffin Stuff. And then you saw McDonald's do the Hamburglar, Grimace, and all those characters came from like HR Puffin Stuff. And the Banana Splits. But the Monkees was all going on around that time. That was kind of all together. And so I'm gonna reach y'all with more because I'm tired. And yeah, definitely be on tomorrow unless hopefully, I'll put something if I'm not gonna be on tomorrow, but keep our fingers crossed. My son has another good day. That's all I can hope for. So Mora, it all starts with a gentle sadness. They came from their original homeland. They knew that they had exact numbers of years and days before they would disappear off the earth as a culture and a lifestyle. The civilization would build to a gentle love. They lived in the Creator's day and knew how to separate cycles in the great serpent. And all out there, remember, I am another yourself, so treat me as you would treat yourself. And as I finish this, always as you in your walking time, remember that, you do enough to protect yourself. So those of you working, remember, you do enough to protect yourself as you work. And may you be protected when you get off and you ride home. May you be protected. Those of you that are fortunate, that are laying in your creation ball field that they want to call a bed, may you be protected. May everything in your room be enough to protect you and stop you from being bothered. May you go into your dream screen through your own will, and may you not be bothered at all, and may it just move. And may everything you put together be enough. And finally, remember, love just is. You can't want anything from it. You don't love with because so many people love with thinking they're going to get love in return. You don't love like that. You don't love, well, if you don't love me, I'm not going to love you. But people that just love, you love them regardless. And when it's time to walk away, yeah, you can, David Ruffin said, I'm going to walk away from love, even though it breaks my heart. That's what David Ruffin said. He said, even though it breaks my heart, I have to walk away. And sometimes you do. So love just is. Love comes with no strings. It's just love. And so those of you that are fortunate enough to have somebody that you can share that with, I'm joyful for you. And those of you that haven't, just know that there's probably a time in your life that you have loved somebody. Well, thank you, Lorenzo. That means so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm playing it by ear. I just hope it helps him to get away for a few days. We'll see. We'll see. That's why it says it all starts with a gentle sadness. And it's like you look at this beast, and this beast like replays this horrors all over and over again. And even though you've seen it before, it still affects you. No matter how strong you are, and you've been through it before, and then you go through it again, and you're like, well, I'm going to try not to let it affect me. It's just human nature. It just shows that you still have goodness in you, that it does affect you. And so, but I was caught a little bit off guard what I'm going through. I'll be honest. I was caught off guard because it just seemed fine, but he said otherwise. So we have to take it from there. And I can't just sit there and blame his mother for how she used to be when she was sick. That was done. What was done was done. Can't go back. You can always go forward. So, well, y'all, this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Thank you so much for your comments. I appreciate it. And don't think I don't. I try to put out content to give you something to comment about. And so don't think I don't love hanging with everybody. I do. So I should be on midnight tonight or tomorrow morning, unless I put a note out there. So this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. Till we meet again, say less.